I'll say a few words to you, and then I'll read you some marks that I made at a place as far away as this room is to the other side of life. Do any of you remember what a sunrise is like? It's sort of a gray meeting of clouds at the east and the lightning of the sky. Swiftening, lightning, swiftening, lightning. Until it is there. Have any of you ever been out on the dark water with not much sea running? And you know, really for true, that if you hold your hands out like this, that they'll be warmed by the sun that is coming. For these elegances, you must become a fisherman. Fishing is, after all, a simple matter. You set your nets and you haul them in. You stay off the rocks at night and you anchor with care. And you look for signs that the sky is kind enough to provide. There are a number of people out there who do not understand the sea, and I am among them. The sea is never simple, with its strange habits, currents, and bears watching. The sea is not a sentimental place to go. It is waiting for you to make a mistake. After all my years on it, I am kin to it, but I'm not married to it. The sea is not a woman after all. It has been my life, good and bad, and the sea provides. The sea provides. My partner is called the McAfee. From the time I could walk, I remember him with white hair and a pipe growing out of his mouth. He'd smoke just about anything. I imagine cow dung, just to keep his face lit. There was no man I loved more than the McAfee. Men liked him in every way there was to like a man. Oh, the eyes on him. Like two candles burning. With one stroke of his eyes, he could give you all the love you ever needed to last you a year. There are three ways I recall. First, he'd be standing in his boat, knee-deep in haddock, the first one to fit. The hair on his beard all shiny from fish lime, and him just calling out to me. Just calling out to me. The second would be at the captain's, with a black pint in front of him, and another one in his hand, drinking with us in front of the fire. Older than us, and smarter too, but never letting on unless it was needed. And third, I remember him at Sunday breakfast with a crab or two and a thick buttered bonnet and a pint. was a great man. You should have known him. There's an old fisherman drowned that will live in me forever. The oldies knit these very pretty jerseys for us, the widows. They keen their yarn and they knit a pattern into each one of these. Now every town has its own pattern, and this one's ours. Would you like to know why they knit these very pretty jerseys late at night? The sheep sleep at night and are content. They think that the jerseys will be better for it, and so will the men that wear them. Now, when a man comes floating into our harbor, and the fish have taken out his eyes and have nibbled off his lips, we can tell from his jersey where he is from, and he gets sent home. The cleanest burial is when you slip away and are gone. You should never be found by another man. You should make sure you go down deep and never rise to the surface. Let your loved ones remember you the way you were when you went out. You shouldn't go floating into your coast looking for your harbor after the fish have eaten from you for days and get washed up on the shore like that, putting frights into people and being asked to be buried once again. This time in the ground. Anyway, that is why we wear these very pretty jerseys. They settle the question of dress 6 days out of 7. But I was going to read you some sonnets, wasn't I, from this idiot book. And I was going to tell you that the sea is this great big arm holding us all into one place, or some such nonsense like that. Instead, I'll tell you a short one. We are now weavers. We are now caulkers. We are now baiters. We are now young. We are now rowers. We are now fishers. We are now masters. We are now men. We are now drinkers. We are now singers. We are now mourners. We are now dead.
Dear love, I've had my hands full for the past few weeks building the new boat. And if I keep at it, I would imagine she'd be afloat before the spring runs. You know, I found a dog hanging around the house, and no one seems to care where he came from. Smicky guessed he fell overboard off a Russian trawler during a storm and swam ashore. Oh, he's a brave lump of a dog, with a lively enough step, but the heaviest of his work is going out and coming back in. Do you think I'll ever be able to teach him how to kick the door shut behind him? I'll be writing to you again when the boat's in. I think that will be a good thing. If you can, would you write me off another letter and let me know what you were doing? So, good night. I think about you every day and night. And I'm sort of crying now. And I think you are too. As ever, Tom.
I live by the sea. Always lived by the sea.
My dearest Tom.